The second subject that I want to bring up is the official plan. I think it's very clear when you look at Change Book and Change Book North that we have laid out a few very substantial markers in there to lessen the province of Toronto's control on rural and northern municipalities. Things again will go back to the Green Energy Act, allowing for greater municipal decision making. Also, very substantial changes on the provincial policy statement, and also on the Smart Growth Act. All acts that very much constrain and restrict the decision making of our municipal governments and county council. I would not want to see county council engage in activities that may become redundant or moot in a short period of time.
Well, thank you, Randy, for that update. And I will open it up to members of this committee to ask any questions of the Honorable Randy Hillier.
Talked about the government today, when someone applies for a solar plant farm or wind farm or whatever farm they do, our municipal government has no say whatsoever in even zoning.
Yeah, we've announced that municipal governments will have the same role in the planning process for renewable energy projects as any other projects, which is a far cry from what we have today.
I'm just wondering if you can let us know about what the changes are that you foresee regarding the PPS.
What we've stated, Bill, is that the PPS and the Smart Growth Act are and were clearly designed for to address the impacts that are happening in densely populated southern Ontario. That's the baseline, and I think we all understand the value in that. But we also understand that the planning controls and needs on densely populated southern Ontario are not the same in other locations. Agricultural areas and agricultural lands for terminology in the PPS instead of the old, prime agricultural 1, 2, and 3 lands. Now it's agricultural areas. My view, and shared by many in caucus, including Tim, is that one of the great impediments to growth and prosperity in rural Ontario is that inability to grow your municipality in the appropriate fashion that is in tune with the residents of those communities. It's this blanket approach. And it needs to be altered. It needs to be altered here. I'll tell you, I spent a week traveling up north just a week or two ago, and it was the paradox was so obvious to me. Here we were traveling through this beautiful, beautiful country with significant recreational opportunities, waterfront lands, everything gorgeous. And as you drive through towns like Thessalon or Cobalt or Kirkland Lake, what you see is boarded up buildings and closed down mills, closed down mines. It was quite depressing to tell you the truth. To see that economic hardship in what ought to be a land of opportunity. I do believe that the way to trigger that is to give municipalities some greater control over what happens in their communities.
How else to stop the ATVs on roads and somebody hunting?
Well, I would agree. I think here comes the old saying about everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Even consistency has to be in moderation. And what we have at the present time is a very conformingly and consistent approach across the province with very little latitude given at the municipalities. You know, and you know, the ATVs are a good example of that. Are ATVs permissible or wanted in London or Ottawa, as and should the same rule apply to there as to Lanark Highlands or Beckwith Township? We need to provide some latitude for that different interests of the community. But obviously, there needs to be some consistency in a number of overarching principles.
How are you going to pay down the debt, and how are you going to fund some of the plans that the Progressive Party has? Where's the money coming from, I guess, is my question.
Well, I'm going to be quite honest with you. You asked how we're going to do it, and it's going to be with great difficulty. Yeah. We are in a significant financial hole. You know, but we also recognize there are needs with the demographics of our society and with the expectations of our society. There is going to still continue to be the need for growth in, especially places such as healthcare and education. But it would be foolhardy to think that the amount of money that we're spending at the province is all going to benefit society and is spent effectively. And I'm not going to rehash the number of scandals that we've seen over the years. But one of the, I'll give you one of the markers that we've laid out on this course, John, is we've said that we're going to reduce the size of cabinet. At the present time, cabinet is 28. It will be reduced to 22. Right? We've also, so there will be some reductions. We've also said that we will do a thorough review and analysis of the over 630 subordinate bodies of the legislature, the agency boards and commissions. And I think we'll find a few things in there. And we've also laid out that our goal, right now we have over 500,000 provincial statutes and regulations in this province. We're the most highly regulated province in our confederation. We've set a goal of reducing that by 30% during our 4-year mandate. So I do believe that we can find and will find. And there was one novel approach that's also in there, is that any minister that does not meet those targets will, of course, there's an incentive in there for them to meet those targets. Their wages will be docked if they don't meet targets at the ministerial level. So.
Well, thank you, Randy, for that. And,
thank you.
It's always good to have you here. You're always welcome. The doors are always welcome at County Council anytime you want to come. And appreciate your time. And on behalf of this committee, thank you. And we'll see how things go.
Thank you very much. And of course, my door is always welcome as well. And my phone is usually busy, but leave a message anyway. I'll get back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.